And we should be live again. Just making sure I didn't forget anything, but it seems like everything's okay. Alright. So, the first stream since the major update dropped. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't actually gotten many of the new ships yet. This being, I think, the only one other than the new reserves. I've done no progress towards the new battleships yet. Nothing towards the new French coastals. So yeah, I think we'll just start by playing this ship. And seeing what we can do. After I've spaded the Matsu, probably going to go and get that Italian destroyer. Since that should be fairly easy to get. North Sea is an interesting one to get as our first match. That might be a good thing to do as well, trying a Strasbourg with new AP, but I haven't played any battle. Well, that's not true. I've played like Scharnhorst this update, and that's it. Like one match, from what I remember. But yeah, playing Strasbourg with the AP might be fun. Just noticed that I'm in a bit of an up tier. Yeah, I could try at Strasbourg with a new AP. But first I'm gonna get and spade some loader destroyers. I think I have to way under aim for these 127s. Again, I haven't played many battleships yet. This update I've spent most of my time focusing on getting coastals now that AIs give a lot more rewards. But I'll have to see what happens with battleships nowadays. I mean, I was playing Scharnhorst as the update came out with a couple of friends. That seems still okay in terms of damage done. British destroyer kinda scares me. No, yeah, 6-3, but yeah, that's what happens to 6-3s before anyways. And the 6-3s no longer are 6-3s, so yeah. Making us an old targets. There we go. Eskimo got taken out, perfect. I don't have to worry about that thing's guns. Yeah, that compression of battleships is very questionable. But we'll have to see what we'll do in the future. I'm sorry, but if you're saying you could kill Scharnhorst 6.3 battleships, no. I am gonna have to say big ol' cap to that, because that's not something you could do with 6.3s. Oh, accept. Ah, yep. Sorry about that. Well, I'll have to give it a try, because again, I haven't really played any battleships yet this update. I'm having too much fun at this kind of VR. Okay, kamikaze. Like losing the rear gun over and over again, because that is most of my firepower. So the other cars got sent already. Good. Shouldn't be. Six into HE really shouldn't be doing too much against battleships, to my knowledge. And now I just sit behind this island and farm coastals, I guess. Yeah, there's a reason the HMS Churchill got replaced as the reserve many years ago. Mats is also one of those rare Japanese ships that gets their World War II radar. I think. Does Akazuki have radar? I'm not sure, but I know that Aoba has it. I don't think Akazuki does it. Gets it. The thing is, that's not a new French 2.3, that is a British 2.3 ship that they have two of, now being on the French tree. I've seen a couple of people like talk about, oh, this new French boat is really good. The British had that boat since release. And it has been a monster ever since it got blue auto damage model. So I'm not surprised that the French one's pretty good as well. Somehow already on 12 kills. Yeah, the... Oh, that's a Torpedo. Okay. Good enough run, I think. Another funny thing with this recent update. So, when you look at the stat card of a Torpedo, notice something missing. For the airdrop torpedoes, at least. The Flower class does, and the Isle class both, have the blue water damage model. Don't forget that those kind of... the coastal vessels with the blue water damage model now also have the unsinkability thing, which means that they have these hull segments that degrade. But that doesn't mean that that's their crew segments. And match is over before I can get anywhere with the plane. Yeah, what I wanted to showcase, and one of the several numerous bugs this update, is that airdrop torpedoes... Let me just get to them real quick after I'm done with all these upgrades. Let's get that one then, ammo wetting as well. Is for airdrop torpedoes. I'll get to them in a second. They no longer display a drop that like speed, a maximum speed at which you can drop them. In case you haven't noticed it yet. And that means that torpedoes literally no longer have a maximum drop speed. Let me try and find one of the shittier ones and go into a test flight. So this one I think has a pretty... Actually, I no longer remember what their drop speed was, but I'm pretty sure that for German torpedoes this was around 200 kilometers an hour-ish. So if you take that for a test flight... let's spawn up in the air already. And again, I'm pretty sure that the drop speed for this torpedo was 200 something kilometers an hour. So let's go well over that into the 400s. You should try that plane. I don't have that Russian jet, but you should try it. But if they haven't fixed it yet, which I don't think they did, I'm gonna drop this torpedo. What's the range on it? I can't actually check, so let's just drop it within, 1 kilometer. That should do it. And keep following the torpedo in. It didn't drown yet. There's also no trail for it, because there it is, very deep. But it's still going. And hit the target with no trail. Dropped that at around about 500 kilometers an hour. So them removing the maximum torpedo speed in the stat card means they genuinely no longer have a maximum drop speed. So have fun, I guess, with your torpedo bombers for the foreseeable future. Anyways. I was going to continue with one more match in Matsu. Although, we've seen it now, it should be fine. Let's go to Italy, where I need to get a new boat. I'm very tempted to just cheat and get it over with. Otherwise I could just play a match in Ciniere. Let's get Ciniere in there. Do have some other Force 3 destroyers. It is. I think it genuinely might just be an oversight when they made the new stat cards that airdrop torpedoes are a weapon. Because there's a bunch of, you know, high-tier ground weapons that need their stat card fixed, but airdrop torpedoes? Who would ever look at airdrop torpedoes, right? Why would their stats card matter? Speaking of arcade, that mode has become pretty much... I don't want to say unplayable because I don't play arcade, but I've heard and seen some things, and geez, it is not great. Just waiting for the squad mate to ready up. Yeah, I'll get back to... It's not even just that. The new aiming system in arcade has completely broken AI gunners as well. Like, you know, let's do one match, and after this match I'll show you exactly what has happened, but oh boy. So, basically, in arcade, the new aiming system means you just have to aim directly at what you want to hit, and your gunnery will do everything else automatically. Lead, ranging, everything else automatically. The problem with that is that it's not that accurate. So if somebody changes course really rapidly, if you're shooting at a coastal going zigzag, you have a hard time hitting them because you can't really correct or anticipate their movement really well with the new aiming system. But on the other hand, I've heard people playing coastals that they get sniped from across the map because how easy it is to just, you know, shoot them because you aim directly at them. But yeah, it broke AI gunners in the fact that they're now 100% accurate. So AI gunners in arcade will shoot at aircraft from any range with 100% accuracy. And they will shoot at ships with 100% accuracy at any range as well. Which has made arcade spicy. Very, very spicy. I think I did a test sale a few days ago with HMS Renown in a custom battle against just AI planes. The 4.5-inch guns in Renown opened up and accurately were getting close to a B-17 12 kilometers away. Which, yeah, I wish my anti-aircraft guns had that much range in, or that much effective range in realistic. So I did hear something about 5-inch guns being really difficult at range now because of their changed ballistics. That is quite a high arc. Well, not that unusual for 9 kilometers. Well, who knows? Because the thing with the bots, yeah, is that the AI, it's not only player AI gunners, it's like, it's not just the secondary gunners on player ships. The AI ships in Arcade have become lethal now with their accuracy. I guess so. It is some, you know, I guess I could count myself lucky as not being an arcade main for naval, but hoo boy, if you are, it's a rough time.
The enemy controls most of the strategic zones. We no longer have the advantage.
Consistently overshooting. There we go. Now I need to worry about what's that's attack. Oh, okay. As well as I've been seeing quite a few British destroyers recently, and it's a bit weird. I guess it's maybe new people trying to get towards Warspite. Now that's finally ended. That's also a Haida. That's a really rare ship to see. Yeah, but the thing is, kill stealing doesn't matter. Well, unless you're doing tasks. But the rewards is genuinely damage based, so kill stealing doesn't matter for RP rewards. Unless they're doing way more damage output than you are, of course. Up. 3 cruisers all bearing down on me. Which is kind of funny to be receiving like 5-0 cruisers in a 4-3 ship, because 5-0 cruisers now have a very rough time as well with the 6-0 battleships again. Okay, now to deal with the Paco, I guess. There's a really simple fix to not having the repair bug, and is not join matches in progress cringe. We've been saying this multiple times now. I'm sure it's not an official fix, but if you're suffering from it, just don't join matches in progress. It shouldn't happen. I am expecting death incredibly quickly if that Kako just gets hands. Although that thing also terrifies me. Luckily it's a British destroyer, so shoot the front rack. If I can aim low enough for this, I don't go full forward like that. Too far back. Too low. Forward, because I'm changing my throttle all the time. Should have been shooting the engines now. Because that's the danger if you keep going for the quick kills, which, well, quote unquote quick kills of the Amarak. As if you tunnel vision on it, you have just crew killed them way long before. Way quicker.
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti. Ripristinare l'integrità della tenuta stagna.
Let's see if we can maybe knock out some of those 8-inch guns with HE before I lose my entire ship. Something over there, of course. That salvo didn't finish me off. I'm also shocked that I just cannot pan that Kako for the life of me. Guns on the Kazuki really. And there we go. Let's see what the Italian guns are like at this range. Kako is being clever by not preparing his engines. He realizes he doesn't need them, so he's not preparing them. It's always annoying to try and face clever people. Kazukis are also a lot more dangerous now with the HE penetration changes, so this might hurt a little.
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti. Nuotare gli scompartimenti allagati. Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti. Ripristinare l'integrità della tenuta stagna. Controllo dei danni alle postazioni. Cacciatorpediniere! A bordo! 7000 metri! Sì, signore! Tirare a tribord! Nemico colpito! Timone a tribordo! Lungo!
What is my penetration at this range? Ooh, 80. That is actually not enough. I think Paco's main belt is 76. So any kind of angle and it just won't pen. Of course it is trying to go through the main belt, not just the upper deck. Kind look at the last engine.
Bersaglio individuato. Marca.
Very good at an angle of that. Although he's already going down. Yep. Yeah, playing Japanese ships this update should be pretty fun again. We need to replay their 4-3 destroyer lineup. Oh, that's not great.
Bersaglio individuato. 4.000 metri. Tutto a bordo. Tutto a bordo. Sì, signore.
Let's wait for that rangefinder. I want to hit him with the first shot if possible, but he experiences immediately. So I won't. That one looks decent. It was a hit, but no hull break, of course.
No longer have advantage.
Too low, maybe. Okay, put my AA gunners on anti-air duties. I don't have many AA guns, but still, that's a Wyvern with 1,000-pound bombs. Scary stuff. Kinda wish I had some HETF loaded. He's going over the mountain, isn't he? Where is he? There he is. Shouldn't have gone for it manually, should I? There we go, there we go.
Bersaglio aereo distrutto! Timone a mezza nave. Timone a mezza nave, sì signore.
Most of the zones are taken by the enemy.
Timone a babordo.
Most likely not going to get that new destroyer this much, am I? Only 1 kill, 1 assist. Ah, shit, what's that? Mitcher, not even a Mitcher, Wilkinson, even worse. And that's me dead. Why are air crews so bad on this ship? I was gonna waste a... yeah, I'm not gonna waste a backup on this match, it's just over. And I think I've actually missed that question a little bit, but I have noticed a difference with HE. It's definitely a lot more viable than it used to be. It's still not optimal, but it's viable. Actually, that Wilkinson reminded me of a change that I need to get back to at the moment. Yeah, with the new HE change as well, those 76s will tear into somebody. Especially since the Wilkinson has different 76s, that rapid fire ones, that do not overheat, compared to the normal standard American like dual mounted 3-inch gun. So Wilkinson is really dangerous. Especially in a suboptimal destroyer like the Italians, or close quarters fighting it is.
Bersaglio individuato. Caccia torpediniere. 287. Incrociatore leggero. Attivo. 8000 metri. Timone a mezza nave. Timone a mezza nave. Sì, signore.
God, a 10-second reload and 120 mil guns is really not something I'm used to anymore. Terra Nova has been really great. I've also played a bit of Terra Nova, the British frigate, to just unlock the last one, Leopard, I believe, and finally recomplete my British tree. And Terra Nova is great nowadays. Also, it isn't specifically HEVT that's more viable, it's just HE. I still wouldn't main it though. I still would main Sap Shells if you're playing American 5-inch. It's just that HE is more viable now. It's not the best, but it's viable. Luckily. Although I think it still struggles with anti-frag. So that was a pretty bad match. I'm still third on the team. Yike. Almost got Krikale. It's however you pronounce it. I was going to... Yeah, but that's not specifically VT. That's specifically HE. I have tried the recycle feature. As you can see, this is after already going through my items once. I never do wagers, so I just recycled all of them. And with all of them, I do mean the Golden Eagle ones as well, which I am sure many people will be upset at me for, but I just don't care. Anyways, I was going to showcase something rather annoying. This goes for Japan. Murasame has twin 3-inch guns as secondary guns. Let me... I'm sorry, Nord, but I'm probably gonna not do that many squads because I have to showcase a lot of stuff as well. Let me go into a Dassault of Murasame. And I want to just specify something. I have the setting enabled for firing secondary and primary guns at the same time. Murasame can no longer fire the 3-inch guns together with the main guns. And you know why it no longer can? Apparently somebody made a bug report that the Geniere, the Italian Fletcher with the 3-inch auto guns, cannot do it. So, obviously, a destroyer with the same 3-inch guns should also not be able to fire them together with the main guns, because the Geniere can't. Let's go to the mixtures, shall we? So we go to the mixtures. Let's go mixture itself. The mixture still can. The mixture can still fire its 76 together with the main guns, even though the Murasame can't. So, fun. Fair and balanced. Okay then. Now I was going to showcase the AI gunner stuff, wasn't I? Let's go Renown. Let's go Test Sale. Let's go to Arcade.
Action stations, man your posts.
First and foremost, these ranges don't really matter, so I'm not going to do anything with it. Let's go to Control, switch that off. We're going to go to our tertiaries. We're going to select the target. Oh, this is also going to be another funny one. And we'll just let the... Hold on. Why did the main guns fire? Why did the main guns fire? Why are the main guns firing? You're kidding me, right? You're kidding me, right? Okay. 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 Yeah, no, the main... Okay. Okay. I was not aware that the main guns are also now way out of control. But yeah, as you can see, the AI gunners are now 100% accurate and are shooting and hitting a target consistently. Including the main guns. Okay, okay, hold on. I need to get a different chip now. That's wild. Okay, our arcade is truly cooked. You know what? No, let's get Roanoke. Now, to be honest, arcade is not the preferred mode for bots, anyways, due to reduced rewards, reduced SL rewards is the main reason. But still, if you ever wanted a botting account to now do like grind trees for you. Also, the like select target for secondary gunners no longer works, and I'll show you why. So let's do surface targets only before it just kills everything. They're shooting the main guns. That's wild. But they should. They switch target depending on the target you are locked onto. Immediately. So I'm gonna just swap back to the destroyer, but I'm not pressing any other buttons, I'm just locking onto it. Arcade is truly cooked to this update. Oh, Jesus. I didn't know the main guns do that now. Oh. That's... okay. That's... okay. Yesn't. Let's actually get back on that. Aerial torpedoes. For as far as I know, they are still 1 meter depth. So I'm gonna get that shitty German one again. Let's test fly. Let's put targets to low because then the battleship spawns. Yeah, the damage on the hull, but the thing is, on the dev server, I haven't checked again, but on the dev server, if a torpedo doesn't pen the belt, it doesn't do any damage. I haven't really tested it out on the live server. But let's see what happens with this. The main guns firing again with AI gunners is wild. That's okay. I'm shocked they managed to break how AI gunners work by just changing the aiming system. So now it says, okay, so it says too fast, but will the torpedo actually drown? Funny how I'm no longer going too fast, is it? Okay, let me try that again, because it's going near 600 with the too fast warning. Let's really dive with this thing. Because I know for a fact that the drop speed of this torpedo is around 200-ish kilometers an hour, like 280, but it does not exceed 300 kph. So let's try and get some speed up. Okay, we can get to 600 again, but torpedo is fine. Going fast because it's arcade. No penetration, no damage. That's what I thought that happened to torpedoes. So you still need to penetrate their armor, which you can... Let me see if I can see that. I always used to equivalent it with bomb explosive mass, but let's see if it actually is in the stat card now. No, so penetration is still not factored, but you can see how much penetration it is. So 200 kilograms of TNT equivalent. Let's go to a German bomber. That's not a bomber, that's one of gun armament. Do any of these have similar TNT filler? So yeah, like here you can see 125 is 82 millimeters of pen. I know some big bombs have pretty low ones as well. That's 260 is 93. What's the armor belt on a Amagi again? It's not that thick, is it? Still. I don't really know how torpedo penetration works, but it is the case that the torpedo needs to pen in order to do any damage. I'm just not quite sure how that penetration gets calculated, like what factors into it. Was there anything else I wanted to showcase? Other than the broken arcade stuff. But yeah, that's a thing now. Arcade is busted. The main guns being AI controlled is, oh boy. Yeah, if you're an arcade main, I think you're gonna be in for a rough couple of months. So I think it was everything I wanted to show, so I'll just jump back into another match to get that new destroyer. That I just spent. Fuck it. I have some G lying around, let's just get it. And slap it into a 3-7 lineup. It's going fine. Like, for a realistic battles player, arcades, naval has been fine. For an arcade player, that's, yeah, stuff is happening for arcade. Not good stuff, but stuff is happening. Sure thing. Let's put Cal over this one. Oh, you finally got your first battleship. Which one was it again? That you were going for first? Again, this map for our first match in a new ship. First we got it with Matsu, now Grakal. Oh, you got Da Vinci. You bought Da Vinci then. Still, I actually do like those Italian guns. Those, although I haven't played it this update yet. Yeah. And even I have my my thoughts on the new aiming system and its implications. Like, I don't think it was necessary, but if it was just the aiming system change, sure. This map is ancient. This is genuinely since it's close beta, but oh well. But yeah, the aiming changes. The thing that irks me about the aiming system change is that it also broke the use realistic aiming in arcade setting. So even if you wanted to just disable the new aiming mode and use the, realistic aiming, which you could do in arcade before, no longer works. So you're just stuffed either way. And there's a Wilkinson out and about, which already terrifies me. That's way too much lead. A personal thing for April Fools I'd love to see, unironically, is them to test aircraft carriers in it. Other than that, like, my main thing I don't want to see of an April Fool's is another ground-based event, because I just don't care for ground-based April Fool's event. I think the last one was the Mad Max extraction shooter thing, which is just I don't want my April Fool's event to be something I have to grind to have fun in, which is just yeah. We'll have to see what will happen this year. I kind of used to make April Fool's videos the first few years I did this, but I'm not sure if I'll have the time to actually do it. I had a plan for it this year, but I just don't have the time to really execute it. So I might just no longer do those. Ouch, my engines. Luckily I no longer need them. You could, in arcade, which is wild, but you could. Oh, he just got killed by the Wilkinson, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. So, a good excuse for a carrier test, right, is I don't know if you were around for the Tailspin event with the like aircraft carrier blimps. Just make this playable. We run the Tailspin event. Who knows? But something along those lines. Or, you know, some kind of mothership that can release drone fighters, stuff like that. There are ways to make like a carrier event that isn't naval focused. But yeah, I doubt we'll get anything like that, but I can only hope. A man can have dreams.
Controllo dei danni per riparazione delle parti. Vuotare i compartimenti allagati.
Like a proper carrier testing event would also be fun, like with actual naval carriers. Could be very fun. For me at least. I don't know. You know, if I had to be in the Matsu again in this match, I think I'd rather be. Also, I just noticed the sea point is captured and we have no friendlies over there. Yep, that's gonna be a rough time for me. And missile shots. And the ones that hit don't hull break. There's two luckily and no longer enough. Rue, oh hello there LS3. Birds don't rotate that quick. My rear one maybe? 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 Ah, over him. No torpedoes from the LS3. And there we go. Let's go behind that island over there. Maybe look at this G-class. I think there's plenty of ways you could like execute a carrier test event. Just, you know, we'll have to see. Missed in my hair. That slow reload is really killing me. I hear a Stuka. I don't like hearing Stukas. I guess a friendly Stuka. One good thing about these early Italian destroyers is that turrets are usually 360 degrees and have really good forward firing angles on the rear gun. So that's quite nice. There we go, that one shot that went through. Got an Albert just chilling here, okay. Man is really upset at Wilkinson, but no, makes sense. Wilkinson is really oppressive, especially on a small map like this. And he's undamaged, which is always fun. Torpedo, okay. I really want to reverse engines. Please put it in reverse.
Motori, arresto totale.
Destroy the target.
Bersaglio individuato. Cacciatorpediniere. Bersaglio individuato.
Okay. Okay. That works. I'm fine with that.
Bersaglio individuato. Cacciatorpediniere.
More than fine with just detonating a Wilkinson.
Attack the enemy!
open up. What is it? C202, fighter, doesn't matter.
Bersaglio individuato. Caccia torpediniere. Bersaglio individuato.
This thing has a pretty decent anti-air loadout. Some automatic 37s, some 20s. Not shabby. Just normal naval EC would do for carriers, to be honest. I don't think they'd need a special mode. Although obviously naval EC is not a 24/7 game mode, but it's still most of the week. Wilkinson player hasn't respawned.
Individuato. Caccia torpediniere. Motori a massima velocità. Bersaglio
I mean, it depends on the amount of aircraft that's up, and the amount of missile ships, and the amount of missiles on said ship. Because a Bravi, for example, can only really get 2 air kills every minute.
motori. Arresto totale.
I mean, 4 or 3-7, it's fine. The Italian destroyers in general are pretty fine if you know what you're doing. As with most of them though, the reload is their main negative. The guns are otherwise okay, gun angles are fine. I think this is a nice ship to have together with your 3-7s though. Yeah, Leonardo da Vinci is not a bad premium battleship. So, it's a 6-3 still, right? What BR is it nowadays? Did it also get moved down with all of those other battleships? I didn't think it did. Yeah, it's those guns. There's like Italian 305s on that one and the Tech 3 one are really good guns. At least last I played them, they were. Let's see if we can just speed over the sea point. I think it's a bit too late for it now, but well, that's gonna be a problem. That's a dangerous ship. The 381s on the whatchamacallit, that's not experimental ship. That unfinished ship, not good at all. Really not good. They're very short, I think, and they're not the quote-unquote legendary Italian 381s. They're not the same like the Littorios. And from what I've heard, they're not great ones. Let's keep going and have my HE do absolutely nothing. Enough parts is what making my repair so long now. Simply gun it. Crit on a Wellington, okay. Bit scary. Shock my cheese actually just not panning into the engine of that destroyer, but well. We don't have anybody close to the sea point and they can do this too fast, never getting to it in time. Oh well, there was an attempt. but pretty decently. I don't know why he never respawned.
Ritirarsi dalla battaglia. Riportare le perdite.
And it'll be close to spaded, but not quite. Let's get a rangefinder. Some survivability upgrades. And then, I guess for the remainder, we'll just get some anti-air stuff. There we go. Now, that's going to be it for that ship, because I think, you know, it is just another Italian destroyer, which isn't bad. At 3-7, it is nice to have a bit of a lineup with Dardo. Yeah, next one. Actually, I wanted to start researching Duilio, because that's closer. What's next on the list? The French coastals, I'm going to save for next week, when I do an actual French coastal stream again. So that'll be for next week. Italy only had that new destroyer, I think. Japan has a new destroyer, and that's about it. Britain had a new reserve, which I've already played. Pretty fun. 250 culls do decently well, and it's a reserve. Nothing much to say about it, really. And yeah, I've recompleted my British coastal tree by playing Terra Nova. Real fun now with the HE change. Russia, oh, Russia got a new coastal we could get. And I think I know exactly what boat to play for grinding it. There's also a new German boat, but that's going to take a while for me to get, so that's probably just going to be somewhere in the near future. Although it does look very promising, this Schütze. A 40mm L70 Bofors at 3.0. Should be pretty alright. But yeah. Let's get into it. I have been playing a lot of Coastal the past week rather than anything else. I think... So yeah, I completed my British tree again. I finally, after the naval wipe several years ago, progress wipe, unlocked the American LCS again. I've also been playing a fair bit of Cyclone. That's a interesting boat. A very interesting boat. Volcanic Island is not the best map for this boat, but we can try.
Боевая готовность номер 1. Боевым сменам заступить.
Угроза столкновения!
Цель. Катер.
It's a good sign that we're seeing a reserve boat like that, although Asheville is 3... Aviera is 4.0, so it's a full up there.
Боевая тревога.
What did he... Really? Just jade out as soon as he got shot at? Right. Vector also is also for us. Yeah. Definitely full up there, so we want to speed into the cap as soon as possible. Arty strike in front of us, so we need to be careful. I'm gonna go wide.
Somebody attack him.
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Vodka kind of shooting us. It's that guy.
Аварийный группе. Ликвидировать пожар. РБУ огонь.
We had to get the one with rough waves, of course. And the one with actual coastal players, other than us two. Bashvilles. Yeah, I remember that name. Bane. Let's be a little bit less aggressive. Because, well, we'll see how far we can go towards that new coastal vessel in one game. And if not, I'll just key it again.
Лево руля. Право руля. Все машины назад. Цель. Катер. Цель. Катер.
That's one.
РБУ огонь. Стоп, машины. Цель. Катер.
Oh, let me rocket him. Let me. Oh no, he puts his back now.
Прямо руль.
Okay. Oh, it's you shooting me.
Катер. РБУ огонь.
Almost killing me. Oh, that's why those Russian river boys are now stabilized, aren't they? So they're a lot more dangerous. Especially at range. Front hull is already knocked out, so it doesn't matter if I ram or rock a bit hard. Oh, hello, boy.
Цель. Эсминец.
Time for the barrage, I guess.
РБУ огонь.
Thank you very much.
Which I assume YouTube compression is luffing the smoke. So
РБУ
let's
огонь.
just keep it up.
Противник сбавляет ход. Оттуда хрена не терял. Есть корабль.
There's an Akabono pushing up as well. Probably the worst kind of matchmaking for this boat, but we'll deal with it.
Лево руля. Стоп, машины. Цель. Сторожевой корабль.
Есть попадание.
Прямо руль.
Almost out of rockets, which is not ideal, to
Цель.
say the least.
Катер.
Дистанция 3000. Угроза столкновения.
Цель. Катер.
Дистанция 2000.
My launcher just does not want to be stable, so yeah.
РБУ огонь.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Противник сбавляет ход. Наблюдаем хрена не терял.
Keep shooting the engines because eventually the fuel tanks will break. And you can just crew kill it.
Право руля.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Есть поражение.
Цель. Катер. Катер!
That's a AI one, okay.
Цель! Эсминец!
I really wish I had depth charges or anything like that at the moment.
Попадание! Лево руля!
I'm liking a plane flying being that close to the enemy. But okay, I guess it works.
Цель! Катер!
Of course.
Покинуть корабль!
I assumed it's an AI one at least.
We have most of the zones.
It isn't. Okay, it's just a name that kind of looks like an AI name. Already thinned quite a bit of their team, luckily. Although that is another Iron Army coming in.
Боевая тревога! Машины назад! Стоп, машины! Цель! Катер!
Attack the enemy.
Цель! Катер!
He's going to try and get to a slightly better position. That's just Nile 2. Oh, just Nile 2. Still pretty dangerous.
Let's keep the pressure on. Victory is close.
Стоп, машины!
Quick look at the fuel tanks. Okay, that's scary. He's definitely looking at me.
Лево руля!
Not happy about my existence at all.
Прямо руль!
We're still doing pretty well though.
Лево на борт! Попадание!
And there's a big bomb into the Iron Army. Let's see if we can push up a little bit. Where the PTA 12 is roughly. Oh, that's not great. That's a PTA 2. I think I'm able to kill them though. Or the 812 can finish him off, that's fine. Our friend in the Russian coastal is back. I need to be very careful because him firing AP straight into my front will detonate me. I think I can do something similar to him. The 12 is also being aggressive as he should be. There we go.
Машины вперед!
And let's see,
Опасно малая глубина прямо вокруг. Прямо руль.
that isn't.
Цель. Катя! Стоп, машины.
And game over.
Уничтожен. Курс на базу.
That should maybe be the new coastal. Hopefully. There we go. Now let's see what we have at a 1.3. Let's just throw all of... Oop. Okay. Slight misclick. And let's see what we have at 1.3. Awful lot. But it can slot in right there. But yeah, this is just 3 Dishkas and 2 torpedoes on a all-white speed hull. Should be pretty fun. Then after this match, we'll do some battleships. Just to see how they changed. And we'll probably start off with a match of Dunkirk, well, Strasbourg, with its AP. And then I'll probably actually go grind either my Americans or my British. I forgot to upgrade the crew on this. But there we go. Yeah, this might take a little while longer than 3.0 to 3.7. But it will. Yeah. Now we just wait for the good old coastal queue. You might be, because Courbet, if you're talking about the battleship, is not a good ship. It just isn't. Is it a 6.0 now instead of 6.3? Because if it's 6.0, it's a little bit better, but it's still not great. Because those 12-inch guns are a bit weak, as are many early battleship guns. It's just the Courbet is a pretty standard weak early battleship, but among those early battleship, it is one of the weakest in terms of magazine protection. And if compared to 6.3s, 6.7s, and 7.0s, it is a joke, basically. Paris is slightly better. It has better guns, but the protection-wise, it's still pretty oof. The French 3 is not known for its good battleships. Strasbourg is pretty good, if you manage to get it from the event. Dunkirk will be a little bit weaker. Those two are like pretty fine. And the others are not.
Боевая готовность номер 1. Боевым сменам заступить. Угроза столкновения.
Already?
Лево руля.
This thing is not the quickest. Well, with his stock as well, so doesn't help it.
Цель. Катер.
That is also outside of my gun range, 2.4 kilometers, good to know.
Право руля.
Well, it's an okay update for RB players. It is a absolute catastrophe if you're an arcade naval player. But yeah. At least the good news is that the new mechanics are okay. Like the hull break thing for coastal, I haven't noticed in actual coastal matches other than being hull broken by blue water vessels, but that doesn't really change much compared to what it was before. And the floatability changes, I haven't played many cruisers yet, but for destroyers, frigates, battleships seems fine. I don't actually know how good Warspite is. I've heard good things about it, but to me it just looks like another British dreadnought with 15-inch guns. The British battleships are pretty tanky, and I don't think Warspite is an exception to that. Also, there is an enemy player on the 8 points, so it will have to be, it was an S-38, I believe. Yep, there it is. And that's the... no, it's an S-38. Now turn back into the capture point.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Лево руля. Есть попадание. Есть попадание. Наблюдаю пожары. Право руля.
The enemy is getting closer to victory. Allied forces have captured a zone.
With the newish player, I think, the German Coastal Tree.
Машины назад.
Yeah, 3 Dishkas at 1.3 is pretty good.
Аварийной группе. Ликвидировать пожар.
Yeah, Nelson has some problems with flooding. Even with the new mechanic, I think it still does. But Nelson's pretty cool. Really good buff with a bit of well done, isn't it? Might actually be a lot better. I don't have Nelson myself yet, so I don't actually know how well it is, how good it is. But other than flooding problems, I haven't heard many bad things about it. Stumbling over my words. It is not the only ship with 16-inch guns. It is not even the first one. Japan has 2 ships with 16-inch guns, Mutsu and Amagi. And America now has one with 16-inch guns, the Colorado. Rear Kishka has some gun angle problems. Not problems. Rear is also pretty long, and we're going to lose as much because we just don't have the killing power. Of larger caliber autocannons. There we go. Yeah, and yes, the SM4 is a bit chunky, a bit big. That was not a really good haul, was it? Yeah, not even halfway done. But anyways, I'm going to play some battleships now. See what they're like. And the first on the chopping block is going to be the Strasbourg. With its new AP shell, which you get by default. Lovely. Also note I'd prefer if you have battleships to use them. Because I think we'll need them. Okay. You know what? No. I'm sorry, Nord, but no. Wait, hold on. Why am I still 7-0? There we go. I'm not gonna up-tier my own ships, and I'm, you know, going to play a battleship. Now watch as he Q-snipes me and be on the enemy team in his Scharnhorst. Also possible. But yeah. Yeah, Courbet is 6-0 now. Makes it a bit better, but still. Oh no, Paris is... Wait, Paris is 6-0. Oh, Paris is the same as Courbet. I thought it was one of these two that was... no, Paris is the same class as Courbet. Ugh. Yeah, no, then it's definitely no better. The Bretagne and Lorraine are a step better, but... yeah. Also, with the Bretagne moving down from rank 6 to rank 5, I got it instantly. Yeah, we both got the same ship mixed up. I was thinking of these two anyways. So yeah, they are an improvement, they have better guns. But they're still kind of vulnerable. But they're a bit better. A bit. Yeah, Invincible moving down to 5-7 is quite the something. Because I've spaded Invincible at 6.3, and it was doable. It wasn't, you know... Sure, you have to fight enemy battleships at 7-0, but you still had to at 6-0. At 5-7, like... I cannot imagine being a Sumner, or even, you know, a Shimakaze. Granted, it is torpedoes, let's actually think. What would be a bad 4.7 to fight a battlecruiser with? Oh, isn't Z-32 or one of the German 5-inch destroyers 4.7? Could you imagine fighting an Invincible in that thing? Yeah, Akazuki's 4.7, but it has torpedoes, which... pretty good torpedoes. So you could argue that if you use the torpedoes, it's not that bad. Okay, open ocean map is not the best way to test this battleship, but sure. Funny. Isuzu is also a good point, but also has kind of decent torpedoes, but is a much bigger target. No, SKR is 4.3, so it still can't.
Moteur, pleine puissance.
And Nord is on my team anyways, thank God.
Alerte collision.
And of course there's an enemy Scharnhorst, yeah. There's some carriers. That's AI. Now we cannot forget angle, although we are already pretty decently angled towards the Scharnhorst. Well, let's actually see what our AP does to a Scharnhorst, although it is very, very far away. Yeah, the Isuzu would not be fun. Because that's a cruiser, for, you know, with piss poor guns. Fighting an Invincible, that would not be great. Short. Oh, Guichet, I think that's 4-3. And I think that actually gets a destroyer spawn. Okay, sure thing. I'm also noticing Frenchie on the enemy team, which is our most notorious Fritz X user. I am slightly terrified. That's also a Mutsu. I keep shooting short on this. Scharnhorst.
Attention to the map.
Surely those will hit. There's a rover. That Nagato is really, well, Nagato class is really terrifying because that thing, I think, can just overpan my bow and kill me instantly. I'm tempted to actually try and shoot its... ouch. Its rear magazine. Shot me through the bow. Let's crunch that even better. And now it's a crunch shooting, is it? That's... is it the Colorado? That is a Colorado. And the Nelson, that's a lot of 16-inch guns on their team. A lot of 16-inch guns, and we have none, I think. There's luckily hit high. And French is indeed in a Scharnhorst, so that does mean Fritz X threat is real. I don't know how to angle against all of these threats, because there's a lot of them, and a lot of them are very big guns. Nevada.
Cible identifiée. Navire de guerre. Cible identifiée. Navire de guerre. Cible identifiée. 3 heures de bataille.
Yeah, this is really not my optimal kind of map.
Navire de guerre.
I need a hard turn for the Mutsu salvo, I think. Please miss. Okay. Yeah, this is not going to be an easy match, is it?
Cible identifiée. 3 heures de bataille. Position 2-0-0. 4000 mètres. Paratribord. Paratribord. Terminé.
I also don't like that Kronstadt's guns just immediately turning my direction, although it's an AI.
We are losing.
There goes my rear turret immediately, lovely.
Bien incendie. Contrôlez les compartiments en feu.
From the Kronstadt, really? Didn't even see its gunfire.
Groupe de réparation. Commencez à contrôler les dégâts. À l'avant. 11 000 mètres. Branle-bas de combat. Ennemi détecté. Nous avons subi des dégâts. Ennemi touché.
Well, not much else I can do really at the moment. Other than just shoot whatever I can and just try and do some damage.
Cible identifié.
Because I'm not liking my odds at the moment. I'm not liking my team's odds in general, to be perfectly honest. Seeing that our biggest gun up amongst is a 14-inch and they have several 16-inch.
Cible identifié. 3 heures de bataille.
And of course I'm the first casualty, okay.
Moteur à l'arrêt.
Those were misses. Oh, one shatter really. That's not shooting. What is shooting? It's the Mutsu again, isn't it?
De guerre. Cible identifiée. Navire de guerre.
Let's shoot at something I might actually be able to hurt.
Navire de guerre.
And I'm not just in the cap, so we need to get in there.
Paratribord tout. Paratribord tout. Terminé.
A bit high.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Navire de guerre. À bâbord.
Yeah, that's the Mutsu right shooting me.
Cible identifiée. Navire de guerre.
I really love somebody to shoot back at them.
Cible identifiée. Navire de guerre.
5 shatters, okay. No meaningful damage, let's switch targets. But Nevada is getting closer, it's an AI, but it doesn't matter. currently suffering a great deal at the hands of a Mutsu, which nobody is helping me with for some reason. So most likely he's going to die twice to the same Mutsu, whilst he remains undamaged. Great stuff.
Somebody attack him.
My rudder is practically jammed because I don't have a bridge. Great. This is the main reason I don't replay battleships, because maps like this, in a full up tier. Well, playing 6-7, so it's not much of a full up tier. But still. And there goes the first Fritz axe. And there goes the first response to the Fritz axe. The Mutsu is still shooting me instead of literally anybody else. And I guess I'm next on the chopping block for the Fritz axe. There's too many to name. I'm not gonna list them all off here, because I could be here for a while. But it's basically any light or escort carrier, specifically Japanese or American. Yeah, I don't see why not. Three shatters and one penetration. And that's it for me. I'm not gonna keep playing that much. I absolutely am not going to keep getting focus fire by a Mutsu in French battleships. So after that, we are jumping straight into Britain. Because in all honesty, I don't think the AP change is all that important for the Strasbourg. I had no problem with penetrating battleships with the SAP, and of course I get a match like this. But that's fine. But yeah, I don't see the AP change being that important for the Strasbourg. Didn't actually note whether or not it has better filler or not for the same filler.
Action stations, man your posts. Engines, flank speed.
Arizona. Standard Dreadnought for the Russians. Roanoke.
Action stations, enemy spotted.
Y. And we are 7-0 again.
Target identified. Battleship.
There. 260. 14,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
There. 260. 13,000 meters.
Helm. Harbor starboard. Harbor starboard. Aye. Helm. Pitchin. Helm pitchin. Aye. Target
So let's see what we can do here, right? I think the Arizona is already looking in my direction, which isn't great. That's an enemy Alaska, and we have a goddamn riverboat. Okay. And now we're just gonna have to try and hit people 12 kilometers away. And I'm gonna be well over, am I? Yeah, actually won't hit one of the turrets. One shell. I don't know what my sight is saying to me anymore. I think. Okay, luckily I don't have to deal with that. Howdy, Alaska. Feeling that after this match we're gonna do something other than battleships as well, because this is just already boring me compared to destroyers and cruisers. That's way too much lead, never mind, I got the kill. Fine by me. And we just keep shooting. Mostly the superstructure, that's my shells, nothing.
Starboard your helm. Target identified.
Player.
Battle cruiser.
That is in the Mississippi. Let's say that.
Target identified. Light system.
Mostly non-pens, 9 kilometers, slightly angled. That makes sense. What is the armor plating on the standards again? It's 300 and something, isn't it? Feeling battleship penetration has gone. Well, we know battleship penetration has actually been lowered quite a bit due to the new ballistics. That is quite shocking. It's something I definitely need to get used to. So these are just 30.5-inch guns, they're not the greatest. But no slouches either. So they should be doing decently well. Like that. But then again, that's a battlecruiser, and that's specifically the Derflinger, which doesn't have no armor. It's also pretty well armored, but it is flat compared to the Arizona's angle. short. I think they were all short at least. Looked like they hit the water before they hit the belt. There we go. I see having closed the gap a little bit, we can do something to the Arizona, but still doubt it. It should be a bit better. Still no real penetrations of the Citadel, although I'm hurting his floatability. Which might actually be the thing I need to focus on now.
Damage control to station. Damage control to repair parties.
I'm really not doing any meaningful damage though with my gunfire. Just cannot penetrate the belt in the Arizona.
Enemy ship on fire!
I actually want to look out for just cruisers that can sink. There's a lot of battleships about. So the Italian ones should have a little bit lighter armor, but if only that armored boat wasn't something, you know, that could actually help. I think at this point we just complain and passive behavior. You know what? No comment. I'll just... Oh, well. Spawning a small arm over large in a... What kind of match is this? Conquest. Large. A conquest map and not even getting in the gap. There we go. Because if I'm looking at it correctly, let me actually find him again. Did he get sunk finally? Oh, he did. Now he's in a Bravi gonna do nothing. Well, why is he at this BR at 7-0?
Repair parties, begin damage control.
Okay, I can reach into the magazine of that ship. Which is good to know. but he accelerated, so those are not going to get into the magazine, but instead into the pockets. Yes, of course. Nothing. Well, largely nothing. No, not for battleships at least. And I think this is going to be my last match for battleships as well this stream, because I'm not playing this, it's just boring. I probably need to investigate all the ballistic exchanges and what they actually mean for battleships, just on my own. Okay, there we go.
Engine, all stop. Target identified.
But I'm at 30% crew in the midst of their entire AI fleet, basically.
Battle cruiser.
Bearing 240. 7,000 meters.
Target identified. Battleship.
Bearing 260. 7,000
Target identified.
There's a player cruiser right there. There it is. Although I didn't think he's in the camp now.
Target identified. Light cruiser. There. Target identified. Battle cruiser.
bearing 240.
Hasn't probably done anything this much yet. No. That's a fortunate miss.
We need to put more pressure on the enemy. They're winning.
Target identified. Battleship.
I'm also flooding like crazy, which I only just noticed.
Hell. Midship. Target identified. Battleship.
Let's try and write that.
Damage control to protect. Watertight integrity.
And fire and flooding don't match well, so we just stop that.
Burning compartment.
Down to 11% crew. And no longer having any crew. And it's of course an AI that got the finishing blow. Yeah, Orion isn't a great ship at 6.7. Getting finished off by this AI is not great.
Ahead! 14,000 meters.
Action station. Enemy spotted.
That lead is really counterintuitive because I don't think that's correct. It looks like it.
Enemy. Listing.
At least that's good. Not that it really matters for the amount of damage I did in that match.
Direct hit.
Yeah, if you're ever curious why I don't really play that many battleships, here you go. To be honest, I think with the ballistic changes, these maps have become a lot harder. But I don't fully have the grasp on the ballistics changes just yet.
Enemy. Hit.
Short, really? Is he reversing? Guess he is.
Enemy hit. Enemy. Listing and losing speed.
I just need to get into the cap to stop the ticket bleed, but that's not gonna happen in this slow barge. No, it shouldn't be. HMS Invincible is never invincible.
Shells on.
It is vulnerable to cruiser gunfire, so... yeah. Still wild to see it at 5.7 though, and absolutely does not deserve that BR. Like I said it earlier, but I did spade it at 6.3 and sure, wasn't easy, but it was doable. I'm shocked I actually got that much RP out of that match. For defeat, where I did... that's... no. That shouldn't have happened. But yeah, is there anything else fun to actually play? I'm not afraid of going above 7.0. I don't see the point of going above 7.0. I have 6.7s to spade. I'm going to play them at 6.7. There's no point in up-tiering them for no reason. You know what now? Let's see. Because for the... you know, it is genuinely worth it for the odd time you actually get a 6.7 maximum match to just not pick a 7.0 with them. Also, you said why they are for the 7.0. Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yeah, I don't know why they don't up it. Counter Duelio. I would go Duelio first. Also, that's great. Yeah, Duelio. It's just the better of the two. Looks cooler, better anti-air. Secondaries are practically the same. But yeah, I misunderstood the question. Had a bit of a long day. I don't know why our maximum BR is still 7.0. But that doesn't matter if they don't know how to balance the aircraft. Because what they genuinely should just do is push all jets to fucking 14.0 for just naval and deal with it later. The reason aircraft don't work in naval currently is because it's only one aircraft. Sure, making them faster might, you know, putting jets in there might make them more effective. But if the argument is, or the reason is, that they don't know how to balance aircraft at a PR, just don't. Just don't. They already don't really care about BR balancing, clearly. Like, well, what's the worst that can happen? Like, what's... not Army, Aviation. So the IL-28s we have at 8.0, which could be a bit problematic, because they have big bombs, don't they? And they go fast. Okay, just put them at 9.0, who cares? Any of the jets don't really match with that BR, just the jet bombers. The Tu-4... I don't think it's a problem, because I think the American one is already 7.0. Yeah. I don't really see any problematic aircraft here other than the Canberras, but again, you can just push them up. Tu-14, unironically, if it was just restricted to Torp, could be funny. Probably not very useful. The R2Y2s are at 8.0, but again, you have the Kiko of the exact same bomb and practically the same functionality. So, actually, F-84, what does that carry? 500 pounders does nothing. 1,000 pounders can be pretty good. But I'm not seeing anything like exceptionally dangerous yet. F-56s, F-9Fs. 500 pounders and 2,000 pounders, sure. F-3D we can already face. Also IL-28s and the other Arado, I guess. But still, I don't see the problem of going to 8.0, other than a few jet bombers here and there. And if they're unbalanced, they can always change it in a patch afterwards again anyways. So I absolutely do not buy the fact that it's for jets. Exactly. Now, to be honest, the F-3D also doesn't have a bomb sight, which is kind of important for toss bombing. Unless you're really accurate with just knowing it off the top of your head. But I just don't see any jets which are really a problem. For, like, going up to 8.0. But oh well. I guess I could just spade Matsu. Just to be done with it, have a bit of a palate cleanser by playing 3.7. Yeah, it is a bit of a weird update, this. Sure, there's a few new battleships, but then they changed ballistics, so battleships are a bit weird. At least I still have to get used to it. Coastal has been a lot of fun, genuinely. A lot of fun with the fact that AIs now give the same rewards as players. Tons of fun to actually grind through them now. Well, a bit more fun. They're still a bit difficult, but it's a challenge I would like to take. That's a 4.3 destroyer. Craftman's 4.0. That's 4.0. And do I have any good destroyers backing us up? Not really. Alrighty. Ah, they're both turning in. Okay. And I'm not going to engage at that range. Got it. Understood. I only have one launch for 4 torpedoes, so I can't really use it offensively. At least Matsu is pretty agile. Okay, that's going to be the Italian. I'm not going to have a great time, am I?
Take him down.
Clearly the Italian doesn't know how to shoot too well. this. Okay. Oh, apparently I had a blind hand order on me. Okay. Fun. Didn't even notice. This blind hand doesn't really do anything in naval realistic.
The enemy has captured most of the strategic zones.
Now, does the Impetu also have anti-frag armor?
Closer to victory.
I guess we'll find out. Gunners are set to all targets, perfect. Gonna try and cut straight through the A point. And that's our Navy guy I spotted earlier in the kill feed. And these low velocity guns do have the arc to just hit him.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
No, for anti-air mounts, these 127s do not have the fastest traverse speed. But that was to be expected from Japanese anti-air mounts, I guess. Somehow got a kill for that 183. Yep, Yobari can face an invincible, and it is something. Something to consider. I saw a stream of automatic gunfire and wasn't quite sure what it was. It seems that the rear gun turret does attract a lot of gunfire. And I know that guy, so I feel a little bit guilty for just doing that to him. Only a little. Let's enable the radar. We actually have one on our Japanese boat. There's the Impetu also. Not pushing in. Seems like a bit of a missed opportunity for something with 5-inch 38s. This kind of matchmaking.
係射し減速中
Attack the sea point.
自習表現停止
And we're just gonna stay here and protect the endpoint, I guess.
敵に砲弾命中
So I do want to be ready for some torpedo angles in case needed.
あーじゃあ一距離
識別完了目標実艦
多い土曜丸度螺旋メートル目撃者 敵関係者減速中敵に砲弾命中目標が炎上している渡手多い丸8丸度
Hello there, Delta.
直撃敵に命中
応急班
Alright, been gotten a little bit annoyed at playing Battleship though,
土曜丸度
but otherwise alright.
本艦は損傷
識別完了目標実艦
多い土曜丸度螺旋メートル
識別完了目標実艦
多い土曜丸度螺旋メートル遠いに達する本艦は船体に損傷を受けた
識別完了目標実艦
多い
I need to be a little bit careful about torpedoes, because Ainan could have at any point launched torpedoes.
多い丸度
The update seems mostly okay. It's just there's no real big ticket items I really want to go for at the moment. Well, mostly okay because I play realistic. If you're an arcade player, yeesh.
多い丸6丸度
And they do capture B, of course they are. I think that AI is about to capture A behind me.
遠いに達する本艦は船体に損傷を受けた
繰り返しパー
I see something on the radar, so I need to be careful with that. There you are. Torpedo, ooh, daring.
多い土曜丸度4000メートル
Let's see if my max level Japanese crew can shoot that down before it drops a torpedo.
遠いに達する
Didn't load any HTF. I don't think I have any HTF on this ship actually.
通りか
Oh, he's gonna do something very nasty.
探知
Yep, turn in, turn in, turn in, turn in.
有限方向全面
Turn quicker.
進駐
Oh boy. Ooh.
敵機撃
Okay, we're good. We're fine. Absolutely unharmed.
多い土曜丸度全面
Also, I am slightly disgusted at a Japanese player using the SB-2C as his torpedo bomber and not, you know, any of the Japanese ones.
螺旋メートル
But sure,
発射完了
let's just launch my torpedoes in that direction. Put gunners on all targets again.
頑張る丸度全面遠いに達する本艦は船体に損傷を受けた
識別完了目標実艦
多いドクター丸度全面
識別完了目標哨戒艇
多い丸6丸度螺旋メートル
I know, right? Imagine using an SB-2C when you have literally any other Japanese torpedo bomber.
丸6丸度螺旋メートル
Although it's not a bad choice. I do like using the Helldiver for my own torpedo bombers as well.
土曜丸度全面
Since when was the input also there?
敵艦撃沈
識別完了目標
敵破壊敵艦が傾いて減速している遠いに達する本艦は船体に
Oh, hello. Probably should have seen that call out in chat, but okay. Perfect. One torpedo bomber, one toss bomber in this case. Although the Darter does have pretty decent anti-air, so you need to be careful. And the Impetuoso especially. Doesn't help that we don't really have any destroyers of their caliber. I'm surprised none of my torpedoes hit anything. Get out, get out, get out, get out. My Navy guy is not moving this, my bomb might just hit him. Yep, that's center. Out of here. That is when why when your AA gunners start opening up on something, you look at what it is. Although sadly this match is most likely going to be a defeat, but doesn't matter. Matsu has been spaded. Almost certainly. And they're capturing C now, yep. Used as much runway as I needed, which was most of it, but oh well.
The enemy has most of the strategic zones. Thank you.
Where was that guy's Impetuoso hiding this entire match? Because we could have used that at the beginning. That is a combined total of too much anti-air for me to deal with. I see some destroyers sneaking down there. I think the Impetuoso, an enemy Impetuoso is still down there as well. Oops, something just dived on our player destroyer over there, and he's gone. That might be Impetuoso. That is the Impetuoso. So we're gonna toss the bomb out and get the hell out of Dodge. Now, did I lead it too much? Who knows? I did, but he slowed down. If he kept going at full speed, I might have actually gotten him. Yeah, well.
This time the enemy has proven stronger. Withdraw.
It was a pretty decent game, although we did get outgunned pretty quickly. And there we go. Another Japanese boat for the collection. I did get both camos for it as well. Perfect. Now, what to play though? I could actually spade the Italian one as well. Don't have much better to do, although I could also just do the Russian coastal. Yeah, let's do that. Oh well. I was going to see how many battles at 50% booster lost for, but that's fine. Actually, let me just look at what belt would be better. APT belt probably. Just a little bit more AP per
Боевая готовность
belt.
номер 1. Боевым сменам заступить. Самый полный. Лево на борт. Угроза столкновения!
I think that's the new reserve for France now. Yeah, that's gonna be the French coast is just gonna be next week. Kind of in cover from the enemy spawn at the moment at least. There's south spawn as well, so we should be fine. Because rear Dishka has a really bad firing arc. We broadside on.
Вперед! Есть поражение!
Pretty small belt as well for the reload length. So you need to try and make those shots count.
Все машины назад. Попадание. Стоп, машины.
Allied forces have captured a zone.
Let's see.
Есть попадание.
Maybe the dark strike was not meant for me.
Катер. Вперед. 102. Дистанция 500. Есть поражение. Катер. Слева.
I'll take that assist.
Попадание. Угроза столкновения!
утратила боеспособность.
Цель. Катер.
I had a feeling that's a player, but it isn't. So the feeling was wrong.
Enemy forces have captured that zone.
Цель. Катер.
There is no longer an arc.
Цель. Катер. Право на борт.
Есть попадание.
Цель. Катер.
Верен. 102. Дистанция 1000. Есть попадание.
Цель. Катер.
Верен. 140. Дистанция 1000. Есть поражение.
Didn't quite have the penetration these guns actually get into the ammo racks or something like that. Definitely not bow on.
Уничтожено.
Цель. Катер.
Верен. 140. Дистанция 1000. Есть поражение.
Прямо руль.
Попадание. Катер. Впереди. Дистанция 3000.
And the eyes so good there.
Лево
It's
руля.
kind of funny to see.
Есть попадание. Есть попадание.
And those are surprisingly resilient to machine gun fire,
Дистанция 2000.
but not quite resilient enough.
Дистанция 2000. Есть попадание. Наблюдаю пожары. Есть поражение.
The fun part about this particular game mode is we don't actually have to get the other cap,
Попадание.
because we got this cap first. We just have to defend this one, and eventually they'll get their tickets run out before we run out of ours. So we're just gonna stay here and keep sinking boats.
Цель. Катер.
Okay. Semi-scary boat. And that's, I believe, a 2.0 boat actually.
Право на борт.
The other one's also a Japanese boat. Let's see about torpedoing this K-type sub-chaser.
Право руля. Торпедные аппараты точь.
Didn't think I'll be the first one to torpedo.
Машины
I
назад.
can knock out all his guns.
Лево руля.
Is my torpedo going to hit, or is he going to miss? Yeah, that's going to miss by a mile. So let's launch the second one for the fun of it. Just keep his guns suppressed. And that one should hit. So we might lose the point if we're not careful.
Прямо руль.
Yep, there we go. Darn it.
Опасно малая глубина прямо по курсу.
I'm a little shocked our team didn't push to the apron because I thought we had a lot of boats around it. I guess if they have a competent player in that new reserve boat, that's what's gonna happen. And the bleeding tickets are very quick.
Стоп, машины.
Alrighty, Delta. See you around. Cap again. We might actually lose this match now. Yep, we will. Unless we go capture the A point.
Allied forces have captured a zone. The enemy is
So
winning.
I guess we'll go move to the A point.
Лево руля.
And all I had to do to win this match was just sit on this capture point, and I didn't do it. Oh well, luckily it doesn't really matter whether we win or lose at this kind of BR. With the disc on the front of the bridge cannot fire straight forward. Good to know.
Цель. Катер.
I'm trying to look out for that Japanese reserve boat. It's been tearing our teammates apart over here. I think I found something.
Все машины назад.
That was one of the players.
Приступить к борьбе за живучесть.
These are not quite the reserve boat I was looking for.
Цель. Катер. Есть поражение.
If we don't do something fast,
And they're capturing the B point again, so lose.
Право руля. Цель. Катер. Лево руля. Попадание.
Oh well. There's our
Катер.
friend.
Аварийный и трюмный группам приступить к борьбе за живучесть.
It's already too late.
Цель. Катер.
Oh well,
Задача не выполнена.
I can live with that. And it should be this boat spaded as well. And both camos unlocked, wonderful. And yeah, there we go. Everything fully unlocked. Just want to check something on this one, because I think it gets that charge as well, doesn't it? Yep. Just like that again. And then I think we'll do one more match to try and spade this Grekal. And then probably call it a night. The new mechanics, hull break and flooding, have been fine for me. Again, I've been playing a lot of Coastal, and the only real time I've been getting hull broken in Coastals feels fine. I've noticed that it only really, well, for me, it really just gets into effect when a blue water ship is shooting you. Like, I've been playing some, what was it again? I was playing some destroyer a little while ago. Actually, no, it was the frigates. I was playing Terra Nova, and I've noticed that it's a lot easier to kill coastals by just shooting the same place in the hull over and over again. For a blue water vessel, that's nice. Having not to snipe every single hull compartment on an LS3 rushing you. But on the other hand, I don't know, it still feels a bit weird. Because it's not all coastals, it's like a list of coastals. So it's a bit weird that it isn't all, but oh well. It is what it is. The AB... Oh, I'm shocked. I'm absolutely shocked at how badly that has made AB... how badly it affected AB. Because the flooding genuinely feels fine. I haven't run into too many torpedoes yet though to really notice the difference there. But it feels fine. It feels like it's not the main way to sink a ship, and that's ideal. Okay.
Riparare le parti! Iniziare il controllo dei dati!
Attack the sea point.
You know what, I think I'll leave it to the Harakas to actually contest the B point. I'm just gonna try and not stand out too much. It seems like my help will be needed around the C point anyways.
Bersaglio individuato. Caccia torpediniere.
I take a few shots against this German destroyer there. Of course, that lead was wrong.
Caccia torpediniere.
Enemy forces have captured a zone.
Controllo dei danni alle postazioni.
It seems the coastals are picking a fight with me. I'm surprised none of the hold breath. Let's fight those ships over there. I think it's actually a Japanese ship over there shooting me. Okay, need to make space for the Vega. Okay, that was an AI at 1, that makes sense. Okay, that's actually an aircraft. It was an aircraft. That's quite surprising. Just over there, it's a help. Being shot at by the radio crew, so we check as well. Yeah, the aiming system maybe is something. I'm going to get a. It's a busy month for me at the moment, so it will be a little while before I get to the update summary video, but I am going to make one, as is usually the plan. I also still need to dive deeper into a lot of the actual changes, because I wasn't aware that the AI gunners can now shoot the main guns in AP as well again, which is just wild. Let's see if we can maybe try a sneaky play on the A point. That calp over there is sunk. I can maybe torpedo this Frunze. What's the torpedo angle on this ship? A bit rough, but worst. As soon as he's accelerating outside of my torpedo arc. Solution for that, that's called shooting his engines. What am I stuck on? Why am I turning it that way? Shot it again, so let's not get out in the open. Because they seem to still be painfully aware of my existence. What happened to the Vega that was over here with me? Because it seems I suddenly no longer have a teammate over here. Oh, he's actually almost hammered him. Can you convince him to bow tank again? I didn't think you can. I hear an aircraft engine. It's a friendly. Thank God. I keep losing my turret. There it goes again. And there goes the magazine. The gunners are also firing some aircraft somewhere. And my guns are having massive skill issues. Actually, this is a friendly coast shooting stuff. So was hearing was my own anti-air gunners.
Barca.
I don't grab an engine. It's fixed.
Keep it up, and victory will be ours.
Timone a tribordo.
Sì, signore. Tirare a tribordo. Caccia torpediniere. 4.000 metri.
Timone. Tirare tutto a tribordo.
Spawn protection.
Tutto a bordo. Sì, signore.
Timone. Mezza
And
nave.
there we go.
Timone a mezza nave. Sì, signore. Bersaglio distrutto. Colpo diretto. Postazione in preparazione. Abbiamo subito danni critici. Caccia torpediniere. Bussola. 360. 4.000 metri.
Bersaglio individuato. Caccia torpediniere.
340. 3.000 metri.
Yeah, the HE buff is very nice as well. Because a shot like that would never have knocked out an engine beforehand.
La parte danneggiata sta vincendo. Il nemico si avvicina. Perché la città. Bersaglio
It
colpito.
was a bit high.
Motori. Arresto totale.
Colpo diretto. Colpo diretto.
Take him down.
Abbiamo subito danni critici. Caccia torpediniere. Bussola.
Yeah, this thing also has a radar. Neat.
Caricare munizioni di rossetti.
It should be game very soon.
La parte danneggiata sta vincendo.
Il nemico è stato sconfitto. Comunicare la vittoria al quartier generale.
And there we have it. Another boat fully spaded. And that's going to be it for tonight. There's, yeah, not an awful lot I could really showcase other than some funny bugs. The two new battleships I'm probably just going to get in my own time, because battleship gameplay is something I have to relearn again. I also just didn't have great maps for it at the moment. Other than that, next week will be coastals. If I have the energy to stream, because I'm going to be very busy next Saturday. But yeah, if I'm streaming next week, it will be French coastal. Other than that, I don't really have any video projects going on at the moment. I still have to just learn what this update is like, especially for battleships, so update summary is going to be a little bit delayed. I could maybe start working on a ship review again. I'll have to see. Actually, there's another thing. I need to get the Captain's Classroom going again. But that's probably going to be one of my next ones. So yeah, next week will be French Coastal, if I'll be streaming. And other than that, video sometime soon. And hopefully we'll have a fun April Fool's event when it comes around. So yeah, thank you for watching as usual, and I'll see you around hopefully next week as usual.